I will call the meeting to order, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, please keep it to township business, agenda items only on this first public comment. And please avoid personal attacks, abusive language, and interruptive behavior. Thank you. Yes, Jim.
So I just caught, before I get to my points here, interesting little nugget from Chuck here. Did he not just say there was never more than 3 people? Is that what he just said? Chuck? Are you not the one that took $500 of our money to draft up a censure of resolution for 3 people? Yes, you are. You're a con artist, man. You just said there was never more than 3 people, which there was, and I actually walked right up here. Thanks for looking at me, Greg. It's your meeting. I watched you, all of you, gathered in that corner when you didn't want to have a meeting anymore. In the middle of Becky's public comment, which, by the way, you want to talk about an orderly meeting? That's not when you make motions and vote on them and interrupt people. That's not orderly. That's wrong. But you're all begging for a motion to adjourn. You guys play by these rules for yourself. You'll censure 3 people, and then he'll turn around tonight and tell you because there was only 3 people. You get what I'm saying, Greg? Right. So, I have so much to say, so little time. You know why? Because you've stolen 21 minutes of my public comment time so far this year, canceling your meetings. And Greg, I've warned you 3 times. 3 times. You can't overrule a board vote. I texted you the picture. This is when the meeting dates were set. This is the 7 board members that voted on them. I texted you 5 hours before you canceled the planning commission meetings. Let's ask Chuck. You're being paid $165 an hour of my money to make sure they stay within the law. Is that within the law? Can he overrule a board vote and cancel meetings? Right. You guys gonna ask him? So I'm demanding a censure for that because you willingly broke the law, Greg. I texted you 5 hours ahead of time for the 3rd freaking time to let you know you're getting ready to break the law. You remember? Of course you do. And you did it anyway. Intentionally, willfully. And then you all stopped the meeting. Right in the middle of Becky's public comment, the deputy made it clear, this is public comment. She has a right to be here. If you would have sat there, Greg, and kept your mouth shut, she would have given her piece, went and sat down. You were the one guilty of disorderly conduct. Thanks for bringing up the, let me read it to you. All persons, including you, Greg, attending will refrain from behavior which disrupts a public meeting, gives all the examples, interrupting board or commission members or members of the public. That's what you did, brother. You interrupted her, you screamed over top of her, she had every right in the world to be here, and then you all come in here and act like she was guilty of disorderly conduct. And you trampled her First Amendment rights. Then the next night you illegally cancel the next meeting and trample ours. Why don't you all ask Chuck that right now? You make him the judge about these censures?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for looking at me once, you coward.
Yes, please.
Ask Chuck.
Good afternoon, Stephanie Booth, City of Howell. First of all, I can hear Chuck just fine, and I'm a little sick of twice that woman interrupting and telling him to speak louder. He's clear in every YouTube meeting I watch. So I don't appreciate, as an audience member, the interruption from that woman. There it goes again.
Please.
Talk about trampling on First Amendment rights. She does nothing but do it during call to the public. I've seen it harass people up here. And as a longtime resident of County near here and Livingston, it is unacceptable, immoral, and wrong. This last person up here has no right to threaten people around here, demand answers. You have no obligation to be replying to people. And you don't have to look people like that in the eye that are openly threatening you, much like the business owner last week. I was thoroughly disgusted, and you may have handled it wrong, but you did the right thing, and I commend you for that, Greg.
Hey,
No, good. It's good versus evil, and I see some real sociopathic behavior here, and I commend the people who are growing a conscience and doing the right thing, and those who have stood up all along.
thank you. Anybody else? Sure.
Your minutes from the previous meeting are wrong. It says several speakers, and there was one in the meeting ended halfway through hers. So that needs to be fixed. And then also, this is the bylaws from the MTA for this township, which we're a part of. And this is board member meeting conduct, not us, board members. Each board member shall fully participate in board meetings by doing the following. There's some others. Respect colleagues' rights, refrain from interrupting other speakers, actively listen courteously and attentively to all public discussions before the board, criticize constructively in private. So we have Herm, who's like a 4-year-old putting his fingers in his ear, blah, 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 I can't hear you. We have you banging your gavel over people, trampling the First Amendment right of all of us, and then canceling the meeting so none of us get to even partake in our meeting. And you won't look at anybody. This is a disgrace. What are you doing? You guys are all on the same team. I don't like everybody I played football with in high school. But damn it, we were the same fucking team. We have the same goal. What is your goal? To destroy this township? Because you're doing pretty good at that. But that's all any of us are seeing. All of this bullshit needs to stop. You don't have to go out for coffee or beers after the meeting with each other. But damn it, you have to get along here and make this shit work. You all should be ashamed. It's fucking ridiculous.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, Scott?
Yeah, here I go. You guys run your mouth again.
Hey, Scott.
Give us some respect.
Scott.
Listen, every time I come up here, I don't interrupt you guys.
Scott, address the board. Please, address the board.
I heard it when I come up. There he goes. I don't need it. And I'll fight back. Okay. 4-year-old behaving like a 4-year-old. That was something that was really, I never seen so much deflection in my life. I guess it's all on video from last meeting. 3 individuals up here didn't get picked to get on the planning commission. Oh my God, what a shit show. It was. And then we had a board member walk out because he didn't like the vote. Nonfeasance. That's nonfeasance. You know what nonfeasance is? Censure. That's censurable. You don't walk out before adjournment because you don't like a vote, mister. And for the 4-year-old, she went screaming up and down the aisleways, all the way out in the parking lot. His wife wanted me in trouble because all I did was try to talk, and I got screamed at. And by the woman that was throwing chairs and being held off by another member, I won't mention his name, held back, threw one chair into a pregnant woman.
Hey.
It sure looked like it. It sure looked like it. You weren't here, you walked out. But the chairs were flying. But she,
Flying chairs.
see, they just don't know. And the leader of the pack right there doesn't know when to shut up either. The chairs were flying. She should have been escorted out here by our local sheriff's department, which I'm getting kind of disgusted with, because we pay them taxes to protect, and all I keep hearing is we can't do nothing. There's nothing wrong with people coming up here and getting angry, speaking their piece. But when you start throwing chairs, I didn't lunge, I was in that hallway. I'll play the video. I got the proof. I was in the hallway. She went over the chairs and we're throwing them. It's all I'm doing. You guys keep putting the crap out. We'll keep putting the proof out. It's all out there. The camera does not lie. Just keep putting it out, Chris. You're a disgrace. Both of you guys need to resign. And to say we need to fix this township, it's got to start with one person, two people, three people, I should say. And these people want to keep following that. I want to fix things too, but we can't if you keep lying and keep making crap up. I don't want to fight with these people, but if they want to keep sucking up into the black hole over there, go into the black hole. I'm willing to work with any of them, but come on, we worked before. We worked on a lot of issues in this township. And all of a sudden now, we got one, they get special treatment, so they're on board with them. And there's going to be more on that.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes,
You
please.
got anything else to say?
Hey,
I'm
Scott.
tired of her comments. Tell her to shut the hell up.
Sheriff, I feel a little threatened right now.
You spoke first.
Sheriff, seriously, you're gonna allow him to come at me like that?
Did I come in here? I told her.
You did come at me.
Hey.
You're pretty aggressive. Oh, no. Come on, Scott.
Mr. Dietrich. Mr. Dietrich. Come here.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Your name, please.
My name's Jody. I'm not going to give my address because it's not
That's
required.
fine.
And just quickly before my comments, I specifically remember that guy slamming a chair against this table. So I don't know why, he would say that last meeting chairs were flying. There were no chairs flying. Anyways, I'm one of the people whose First Amendment right was violated at the last meeting. I was denied my chance to speak, and this isn't just a small matter. We are guaranteed 3 minutes to address the board. But instead, trustee Sarah Dolman Jersey motioned to shut down the meeting, and all the residents were silenced. That's censorship. If Becky Millark had done anything wrong, the deputy would have stepped in, and he didn't. The only disruption came from the supervisor pounding the gavel and yelling, "You're done," because you didn't want to hear her. No matter what side of the issue any resident is on, every person in the room and watching online should be horrified that elected officials would strip residents of their constitutional rights. And if it can happen to one of us, it can happen to all of us. We're not going to forget it. And I think the community members should know there are fines associated when there's violations of the Open Meeting Act. And I believe it's $1,000 each for the first time, $2,000 the second time each, and then fines and/or jail. And that's just in giving them information and being transparent.
Anybody else? Yes, Tim.
Tim Broad. I just wanted to read a letter that came out after the board meeting last 2 weeks ago. It was to the 7 of you regarding the appointment of Rob Bradford And I think you guys are going to discuss some stuff tonight about that, but I just thought that everybody should read what the man wrote to you. Dear Supervisor and members of the board, please accept this letter as my formal resignation from the Tyrone Township Planning Commission, effective immediately. While I appreciate the opportunity to serve, I was never notified of my nomination or placement on the agenda prior to my appointment. Let me read that again. I was never notified of my nomination and placement on the agenda prior to the appointment. I found out from Livingston County elected official the next morning during a meeting. The lack of communication has made it difficult for me to begin this role with the full level of preparedness and commitment that the position deserves. Additionally, as a Deputy Chief of Police for the Green Oak Township, Charter Township, and retired Chief of Police for the City of Brighton, I must remain mindful of how external matters affect both my current responsibilities and my reputation and the potential for future advancement within public safety. After watching the board meeting online where I was nominated and confirmed, after watching the board meeting online where I was nominated and confirmed with the continued negative press surrounding the Tyrone Township Board was about, and obviously lack of order. Lack of order. I know these unnecessary distractions will have an impact on my professional obligations, and I refuse to affect my reputation as a police chief and as a law enforcement professional for nearly 30 years. For these reasons, I feel it is best interest of both the township and myself that I step down and not accept this nomination from the Planning Commission at this time. I am confident that things can step forward to contribute productively to the Commission's important work. I don't know, Greg. You vetted this guy really, really good, huh? Just like you did Bender, if I remember correctly. I don't know, bud. It's not really looking that good. I wish you guys would get your stuff together.
Anybody else? All right. Oh. Gordon?
Hi, Gordon Tomaszewski. I'd just like to point out that level of experience on our board. Mr. Carnes, you had 28 years on the ZBA board. Jennifer, you've had six years of experience as a treasurer in the township. Pam, she started in March of 22. Herman, you've been on the board since April of 20. And Sarah, I'm going to throw a special one out to you. I know you've mentioned that you've attended workshops through the MTA in regards to the Open Meetings Act and workshops. On that note, what I'd like to start by saying is I want to congratulate all of you on achieving a new level of dysfunction within the township board, excluding Chris and Dean. I'm one of the residents who had his First Amendment rights violated by the 5 little board members who also violated the Open Meetings Act by canceling our public comment period. I would fully support any measures to censure those 5 members for violating my rights. You owe the residents a public apology for your conduct, specifically you, Greg, for overspeaking in the public comment period of a resident and violating the rights of the other residents to be able to step up and talk about our concerns within the township. Hopefully at some point, you guys will get the picture. You can continue to violate our rights And there are several laws stated by the MTA that you guys are blatantly just continuing to violate, and you know what they are. At some point, the talk is going to quit and actions are going to start. Whatever's going to be necessary for us to be able to use our First Amendment rights and bring issues to the board. Lastly, I'd like to also state that following the code of conduct, as I understand it, I'd like to know why you have a camera placed behind you when no other members of the public are allowed to have one. You're not exempt from it. So hopefully you can work on that and get that taken care of. And I do have an answer, and I do know why you guys tend not to want to look at anybody. I want to give a special shout out to our friend, Mr. Kevin Ross, in the back of the room, because you guys all sit there on the phone and have conversations with him. You may want to look up and also about the Open Meeting Act in regards to using cell phones for communications outside the board use while there's a public meeting going on. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, moving on to the final public remarks. And again, anybody who would like to speak, raise their hand. 3 minutes. Please be respectful and refrain from abusive language. Yes, Becky?
Good evening. My name is Becky Millark. On August 19th, I was the first resident to speak during public comment. That night, Supervisor Greg Carnes interrupted me while I was speaking, which violated my First Amendment right to be heard. Public comment is supposed to be for the people and should never be cut off or shut down. What made it even worse was watching, I thought, our friend, Herman Ferguson, sit there with his fingers in his ears while I was talking. That kind of behavior is disrespectful, not just to me, but to every taxpayer who expects to be treated fairly. Then Sarah Dolman Jersey made a motion to end the meeting, which clearly violated the rights to every resident wanting to speak. And I'm sorry to everybody here. 4 board members voted with her, and in doing so, they joined in silencing the voices of the people. That action took away our First Amendment rights, and it should never happen again. This isn't just about me. It's about every person in this room. The people of this township deserve respect. We deserve to be heard, and we deserve our leaders, like Greg Carnes and Jennifer Eden, to take our voices seriously. I hope tonight every resident is given their full chance to speak without interruption. Thank you, Greg, for not interrupting me tonight. And you can't even look at me like Jim said. It's the same. I get it. Silence. You think the silence treatment is going to work. Okay, well, this is our local government.
Yes, Jim?
So, Greg, at the last meeting, you said this is your meeting, right? You remember? Like 10 billion times how it's your meeting. If you look up your job description, Greg, you're here to moderate the meeting. And if you follow that rabbit trail, it means you facilitate discussion. Facilitate means you encourage it. You make it easier, Greg. All you do is steamroll the residents. You steamroll every time Chris brings up a question. So when you appointed Kevin Ross, Chris says, I'd like to have a conversation about that. You remember your response, Greg? Are you coloring? What are you doing up there? You can look at me. It's not illegal. You remember your response when he said, I'd like to have a discussion, which is exactly what we're here for, right? You said, I can't believe you're saying this to me right now. Is that doing your job, facilitating discussion as a moderator? It's a complete joke. So Herm, you remember, I asked you 2 times, 2 different board meetings, did I ever threaten you? You said no, both times. I asked you out in the hallway, did you tell Kevin Ross that I ever threatened you? You said no. That's what you told me. Well, Kevin Ross, let's see what he has to say. On Facebook, Jim was trying to confront me and come in because he did not like the fact, the boy that sticks to the facts, that trustee Herm Ferguson told me that Jim threatened me in the parking lot. Which one of you two's lying, Herm? Somebody's lying. Those 2 cannot be true. You've already, and I was there, so I know you're telling the truth, right? You, Greg, I come into your office and I ask you, why can Jennifer push me out of the doorway? And I ask, why is Kevin Ross allowed to be back there? That's a good question. Why can he be back there and I cannot? She says it's her door. She owns the freaking place, whatever. But you told me, Greg, in your office, and I have it on a recording if no one believes me, I don't know why the F he was back there. I don't know who the F let him back there. He shouldn't have been back there. It's exactly what you said, Greg. I can prove it. So let's see what old Kevin's got to say about that. I was in to discuss township business with Supervisor Greg, which I set up with him prior to the meeting. Well, who's lying, Greg? Greg? Who's lying? Somebody's lying. And now that's worth discussion, like Chris said. That's what we're here for. The guy tells me to drink bleach. Is that not worth discussion? So one more thing. You remember when I was in your office, it's worth discussion for Jeanette to say your time is limited? You remember when I came in your office, Greg? You remember what I told you? I said your time is limited. Said it straight to you so everyone could hear. So I'll wait outside for my citation tonight. Otherwise, you're being a hypocrite. And I'll gladly go to court with you, bro. And why are you so quick to vote for a guy who you know is lying about you? Why are you so quick? Are you ready to gladly call a liar a liar? I just proved it.
Thank you, Jim.
And are you guys going to ask him if you're inside the law canceling meetings? I would think you would care about that.
Thank you, Jim.
It's kind of important.
Thank you, Jim. Yes.
Hi, my name is Chloe. I'm a senior in high school and my plan is to major in criminal justice. I'm currently dual enrolled taking criminal justice ethics at a community college. I've been attending these meetings recently to learn about our local government as well as to form my own opinions and what I'm passionate about. I've personally brought each of you a gift. It's a copy of the Constitution. In school, we learn about the amendments and different types of the government, starting in 8th grade and continuing to learn U.S. government all the way to 11th grade. An absolute government, or a kingdom, is when there is one person who holds all the power. Our government is supposed to be a republic, where the people hold the power. The First Amendment states, Congress shall not make any law regarding the establishment of religion, prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, the press, the right of the people to peacefully assemble and petition. This board violated everyone's First Amendment rights when you guys decided to adjourn the last meeting because you did not like what you were hearing during a single public comment. Mr. Kearns, you interrupted a resident because you didn't like their message. That's not leadership, it's censorship. It was completely rude and disrespectful. Then you proceeded to beg someone for a motion to adjourn, making it so no one else was exercising their right of freedom of speech. That is not fair and a clear violation of all of our rights. Please read these booklets and the Open Meetings Act next time you aren't breaking the law and rights so many have died for us to have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Can I give these?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe.
Marcia?
Marcia Dix, Tyrone Township. I don't have a lot to say, but after listening to this over and over, I was thinking, after the pledge, why don't we say a prayer and remind ourselves to be civil to one another? We do that in all the events that I go to, and I thought maybe it would be a good thing to start here. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. Stephanie?
Good afternoon. Thanks for hearing me again. Stephanie Booth, the City of Howell. This body shaming evidence was procured by taking photos of someone behind their back at a meeting, a violation of privacy.
Hey.
I'll yield. Since we're so into First Amendment rights, I'd like to bank my time back.
It's not. Let her
Okay,
speak
bank
for
some
3
more
minutes.
time every time those MAGA nuts interrupt. They can't help themselves, see? They're all in a cult. Yeah, they can't help it.
Who brought her in, Greg?
George Soros, he paid me $1 million.
Just,
Is that what you want to hear?
Stephanie,
I'll start my 3 minutes when these idiots shut the fuck up.
please be quiet. Let her say her piece.
Okay,
She was
like,
quiet for you.
yeah, and I like, when I try to keep a train of thought, it gets messed up when people interrupt me. So, you did the right thing. Perhaps it was, but anyway, what I do want to say is these people who harass and bully people, obtain evidence in the way they do, they are pure narcissists, and they make a living off of body shaming. I don't get it. That's what they do. And you've got a township board member, or at least a wife, supporting this business, and her crying foul over this body shaming when she desperately wants, for some reason, wants a job on the planning commission, the job that this guy tried so desperately to hang on to. There's something fishy going on. I don't know what it is, but I don't like the way they're treating people. I find it very abhorrent. And, I speak this from someone who's gone to commissioner meetings and had people like Dave Doma and people try to cut me off when I'm saying something that makes them uncomfortable. So I do side with that one bit of thing. Everything else is just pure bullying. And no, do not mix religion with public policy. Thank you.
One nation under God, actually.
Hey.
I watched you do this.
Did you hear that? Hope you heard that. It's on video.
Somebody else? Yes, Scott?
Scott Dietrich, White Lake Road. Boy, it sure is fun to troll these people. You get angry and they all think you're mad. You know what? We're just pointing out the fact they just keep interrupting you when you're trying to talk. Oh, I'm going to call them out. I don't care. The sheriff told me, just thinks I'm mad. I'm not mad. I'm sticking up for what I believe in. And I'm going to fight against him. If he doesn't want to. We just saw everything that I did being done, and they stood back there in the corner. And they did nothing. But Jim, sit down. Yeah, just practically threaten you. Greg, and they stacked better. The last meeting I was kind of bewildered when the sergeant came up here before the meeting, was talking to Chris like he was his best friend. So I kind of wonder what's going on with Livingston County. So, really, what's really going on with Livingston County? When certain people can do things and certain people can't. Well, that's what they keep crying, the victims out there. Herman, There's nothing wrong with you being a friend to the Millarks. I went over there. They had a very nice business. We have spent a lot of money on surveys, and we've had meetings, and we determine how we want to run this township. And as a friend, you know if someone's doing something wrong, you tell that person, no, you're not doing things within the guidelines of what you were given permission to do. So yeah, you were a friend. You stood up for what you took the oath of office to do. You took an oath. Greg took an oath. These two took an oath, but they threw their oath out the door. They threw it out the door. What was all of these meetings we had? I mean, Jeanette screamed like hell, we have to have the master plan. Let's get the master plan. Let's get month after month. But I was there with her. I'm not saying it was just Jeanette. We want to get this stuff done. And only to what? Throw it out for one couple that thinks that they could just do anything they want on their property? I know they live 6 months. No, I've been in this township, and we've all thought, Urban Lake, the marijuana facility, we want residential areas protected. I don't hate the Millarks. No, I don't. Believe me, I don't. And the man makes beautiful products. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm scared of that to be his neighbor. I would be, because you know what? The way she threatened me and then called me out and says that I had 2 failed marriages, which I've been married once. Second wife, over 40 years. I'm proud to say over 40 years. And that I was fired from Ford. It's all in print. I was fired from Ford Motor Company. Man, I'm getting a pension now, guys. Man, I never see anybody get a pension from a place they're fired from. So these are the attacks. When we did all this stuff with the Urban Lake and all that, did they come out and threaten everybody and make all false accusations? I think not.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Anybody else? Jordan?
Hi, I want to play something for you. Hopefully this will come over the speaker from one of our trustees.
One last thought. One last thought. It all starts with your thoughts. Your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions. Your actions become your habits. I'll write it down for you. Your habits become your character. And your character determines your destiny. And for $5, I got a question. What's the difference between image and character? Does anybody know? And what's image? You guys are smart. You got $5. So that's it, the difference. Image is what you do and who you are when people are around watching you. Your character is what you are and what you do when there's nobody around watching you.
That's Mr. Herm, for anybody that doesn't know. And then I'd also like to read something from another board member. It's Trustee Sarah Dolman, Jersey, said in a statement to the Tri-County Times that when misconduct occurs, the board has a responsibility to take actionable steps to hold the responsible accountable. Refusal to accept consequences for misconduct and putting the township's best interest before personal agendas is perpetuating a spiraling cycle of conflict that the community does not need. Dolman, Jersey also said, I hope the residents see the necessity of steadfast adherence to this value, even in the face of attempts to rewrite the narrative, retaliation, and intimidation. Our own individual actions accept the consequences, and then we can all move forward the best interest of the township. It's that simple, Dolman, Jersey said. Greg, I looked at a YouTube video of your campaign promise, and you spoke of wanting transparency. And my problem is you all talk about character, and especially you're on here communicating with the guy that you voted to put back on the Planning Commission board, and you exposed your true character by your actions. It's shameful, and it's shameful that you ran on a policy that you didn't want to become a mini Mike Cunningham, and that's exactly what you've done.
Yep.
I just have a real quick comment. My name's Austin, Tyrone Township, and I really just
Your
wanted
last
to
name,
mention.
Austin?
My first name's Austin.
Yeah. and your
That's
last
all
name?
I'm giving, sorry. As far as the code of conduct you have here, and like the previous comment, as far as not being a little Mike Cunningham, part of the reason I got interested and started coming to some of the township meetings was because of how I saw the previous board operating, and I didn't like it. I didn't like how I witnessed people's rights being violated, mine included. Cunningham shut down a meeting, just like the last one was, abruptly, took a vote, motion, let's shut down the meeting, everybody had to leave. You guys did the same thing this last meeting. It was actually pretty shocking to witness. One public comment, and yes, Greg, you blatantly, flat out, cut somebody off and interrupted them. I think you might be on a little bit better behavior going forward, because you might realize that you kind of stepped into a little bit of a hole there. But regarding some of these policies on the code of conduct, like another commenter said, your main job here, Greg, is to facilitate conversation and run an orderly meeting and keep it in order. That doesn't mean talking over people, pounding the gavel, and telling them to sit down and shut up, which is essentially what you do, what I've seen for the last couple of months here. I was hoping this board would be better than the last, but it seems like it's turning out the opposite. But specifically one of these here, in my recommendation to you, Greg, in keeping the meetings a little more orderly, because I've seen it during this meeting, speakers' comments shall be directed at the board or commission, not the audience. I've heard multiple comments of residents commenting on other residents. If you want to keep order in these meetings, that has to stop. If you're going to interrupt somebody, it has to be a violation of the policy that I'm reading right here. And that's basically about all I'm going to say right now. But I am very disappointed how you interrupted and shut down the meeting the last time, and I hope that doesn't happen again. I don't know, maybe I can just sit here for another 45 seconds, let you dwell on it a little bit. As it was really shameful what happened in the last meeting. And actually, yeah, Sarah, since you made the motion to adjourn the meeting, and everybody that agreed to it, you know, this was a big deal several months ago with Cunningham, where everybody who voted to shut down the meeting on record violated people's rights. Again, just because you take a vote doesn't mean it's legal. And I warned at that time that there'd be, you know, accountability that comes with that. So we'll see how the next couple of years go, I guess. Really, I suggest read the law, read the Open Meetings Act, learn and understand your job, and how to respect the residents, I guess. That's really all I gotta say.
All right, thank you. Anybody else?
Jody Kelly. And I just want to start with, Chris mentioned it tonight, Dean mentioned it at the last meeting, that they feel that people being appointed should be interviewed during the Open Meetings Act for everybody, for the community. And I read the Open Meetings Act, and unless you could enlighten me or your attorney finds a loophole, I read 3 times that when people are appointed, the interviews are to be conducted at an open meeting act, or open meeting, excuse me. So I'm not really sure, do any of you know if you're supposed to do that? It seems pretty basic, and it is, if you're not doing it, from what I read, it's a violation, another violation. Do you have any idea? He won't speak. Anyways, not going to talk much about that, maybe later, but the other thing I wanted to say is that after the last board meeting, the supervisor gave details to the Tri-County Times about appointments and the situation with Rob Bradford, the nominee who refused his appointment. Yet when the agenda was released to residents, none of that information was included. Why does the newspaper get the facts, but the people who live here don't? That is not leadership. Leadership means speaking directly to the people you serve, not hiding behind the press. Withholding information from residents is a way of hoping we stop asking questions, and it shows a lack of respect for this community. We deserve answers in these meetings, not after the fact in a newspaper article. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?